So, with each client you help, you're essentially changing the world. We may have talked about this before. Imagine a placid lake, and on that lake, it's dusk, right? And the water is silvery like it is here. And imagine that you take a rock and you throw it into that lake. What happens to the lake? Ripple effect, right? That's what you do every time you work with a client and change their life. Do you feel that? That, you work with one client, and not only does it change them, but it affects the people around them. It affects their friends, their family, their spouse, their children, their coworkers. They, whether you know it or not, will never be the same because of you. Let that sink in. Their income might not be the same, might be better. Their outward appearance, their confidence, everything has changed. And so that's the ripple in the lake when you work with one client. Now, what happens if you're working with 10 clients? What happens to the lake? 10 rocks. What happens? Big ripples, yeah? What about 100 clients? They're surfing. What about 1,000 clients? Hurricane, yeah? Tsunami on a lake? Yeah, does that work on a lake? Yeah, why not? I like your imagination. What about 10,000 clients? How many people's lives do you change? What's the ripple effect of that? Right? You look at Oprah, 10 million a day. 10 million or more a day. I don't even know what her lake looks like. Like, that's crazy. And I don't want you to think like, yeah, that's them. That's Oprah. That's whoever you're looking at. Your duty is to play a bigger game with your service because these were divinely given. All these unique skills and talents. Do you get that? This was divinely given to you, not to squander. Write that down, please. My gifts were given to me not to squander. And so if you think about how you were created, you were not created to play small, were you? No. Why? Because your Creator doesn't create small things. Does that make sense? Does that register? Okay. So you were meant to play bigger by default, by how it was just set up. And so the more people you serve, the more money you make. The more people you serve, the more money you make. So when you're working with 10 clients, as you may be right now, 10, 20, you have a certain kind of ripple effect. But when you start working with 100 or 200, it's totally different, isn't it? You change a lot more people's lives. And so today and tomorrow and the next day, I want you to start thinking about working with 200 people. 2,000 people, 20,000 people, 200,000 people. Deep breath in. Turn to the person next to you and say, you can do it. I believe in you. And so to make a lot more money in your business, right? Because we're here talking about the more people you serve, the more money you make. So let's flip that around. The more money, if you want to make a lot more money, you've got to add a lot more value in the marketplace. So you're adding some value now. Fantastic. Woohoo! But it's time to add even more value. And then adding even more value to a lot more people, even more people than you're adding value to now. Okay? I know this makes sense. You're like, okay, I know this. You don't know it until you're living it daily. Do you get that? Yes, say yes, I get that. Okay.